One, two. What's crazy is these are menstrual cycle bumps, right? They only come when I'm about to come on my cycle. Bitch, it has been 30 plus days since my last. That ain't none of y'all business. But I'm saying, like, why the fuck are y'all here if my cycle is not here? Stupid ass shit. What's poppin'? Janae back and I'm better back like I never left. Okay. Cutting straight to the chase. This is 6 bad driving habits that can cost you your vehicle. I don't even know if that's the title, but 6 bad driving habits. Now, I would say I'm an okay driver, and the only reason why I say I'm an okay driver is because I tend to speed a lot, like a lot. I actually just got off probation due to some traffic rules that I've broken. Woohoo! On probation. Kudos to me. I did a good job. But yeah, we just gonna watch this and see how bad of a driver I am. Other than that, though, the whole speed and shit, I'm a great driver. But I tell you what, though, you always gonna get to your destination on time or early. Messing around with me.
For some of us, our cars are our babies, our pride and joy, our everything. Sometimes you're damaging your car without even realizing it. I'm going to be showing you guys 6 bad driving habits that can cost you big time. If you're new here, I'm Christian. This is Vehicle Virals. Make sure to subscribe for future automotive content. Now, let's get on with the video. Real quick, guys, before the video begins, I wanted to properly thank you guys for supporting my channel. Earlier last week, I hit my very first 100 subscribers. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but it means a lot to me, especially because I know that there are many of you guys enjoying the content that I produce for you guys.
Real quick, that's real shit. Like, I feel like when you tell people your numbers or whatever, your stats, they were like, oh, they ain't no bill. When I hit my first 100, I was fucking ecstatic. When I hit my first 500, I was ecstatic. When I hit my first 1,000, I was ecstatic. Shit, when I hit my first 10, I was like, god damn, 10 people actually want to watch me. And just to see how my subby count has risen, and it continues to rise, and my views continue to grow. It's fucking amazing. It's a great feeling. But yeah, go ahead and talk your shit, babe.
And I'm going to continue to do so. So the next goal is 1,000 subscribers. Now, let's begin the video. The first bad driving habit is ignoring that you have a parking brake or e-brake, whatever you want to call it.
Never used that shit day in my life, ever.
And by ignoring, I'm referring to not using it at all. Specifically when parking a vehicle on a hill or a sloped surface. Most people just leave the car in park and go about their days, not realizing the damage they can potentially be causing to their transmission. You see, when you park your vehicle on a hill without using an e-brake, the entire weight of the vehicle rests on a small metal piece within the transmission about the size of your finger, called the parking pawl. By adding all that weight to the pawl, it's not only causing it to wear out prematurely, but it can also cause it to break eventually. Imagine coming back to the car just to find it at the bottom of the hill. Not only will you have a pricey transmission repair, but you can also end up having to pay for property damage. So avoid any potential expenses and use the parking brake when parking, even on flat surfaces. Just one thing, remember to disengage it before driving off. The second bad driving habit is resting your hand on the shifter. This goes for both automatic and manual transmission cars.
So far, I'm 1 for 2. I don't really rest my hand on the shifter. I put my hand either on the... It depends. If I'm driving on my right hand, my left hand is on the arm, the driver's arm. If I'm driving with my left hand, it's usually on the in the middle console, or it's hanging over the middle console into the passenger seat. So I don't do this one.
Raise your hand if you're guilty of doing this. Stick shift drivers and previous stick shift drivers are notorious for doing this. What you don't realize is that leaving your hand on the shifter can put unnecessary strain on the transmission's bushings and synchronizers, leading to premature wear. And once these small components are worn down, just like any transmission repair, it can get costly. The real issue is that those that do this don't typically have a firm grip on the shifter, and if you hit a pothole or brake suddenly while resting your hand on it, you're going to create movement, which can be very bad for the transmission. Next bad driving habit is constantly driving on a low tank of fuel. Have you ever been in a friend's car where every time you're in it, the low fuel indicator light is always on? In fact, it's so bright you have to slap shades on. I think many of us can be guilty of always trying to stretch the very last bit of gas before ultimately...
A mini story time. So, my old job that I used to work at was literally probably like, I want to say 14 miles from my house, right? Now, I don't know why I haven't previously done this, but usually like I'd be like, I know my car, or I know I'm good. I can get to the next whatever. So, came home one day and my car was on E. But my car will stop telling you how many miles left you have to go when you at 50. So after 50 miles and below, it won't tell you how many more miles you got. It'll just say low fuel. So I'm thinking like, yo, I'm good. Like, honestly, it was damn near below the E light. It was like, this shit was off type shit. But I'm like, yo, I can make it. I'll be fine. It's a gas station right next to my job. I'm cool. So I'm driving. I get about 5 minutes away from my job. If that. My car starts to slow down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? My foot is on the gas. And eventually, it starts to really fucking slow down. So I'm like, okay. So I'm pulling over and I pull into the median lane, like the turning lane. Man, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, so ain't no cars really out like that. And my shit stops. Like, dead ass stops. So I was like, damn. So I had to turn my car off. Of course, I had to put it on Snapchat because that shit was just so funny to me. Like, because I'm always saying, like, yo, I know my car. And what's so funny is, on my way to work, I pass about 4 or 5 gas stations. Like, no lie. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 4 or 5 gas stations. That's 6 gas stations I passed by going to work. But I was like, no, I'm going to go to the last one because I can make it. Literally, I was right there too. But in Georgia, a 5-minute walk, a 5-minute drive can literally turn into a 30-minute walk. Blocks be long as hell for no reason. Like, if you live in Georgia, you know this for a fact. Literally, a 5-minute drive can turn into a 30-minute walk easily. So I probably had like a 15-minute walk to the gas station. Then I would have had to drive back to my car. Man, I'm on my way to work. So I'm like, damn, I'm finna be late. I ended up having to call my boss because my boss loved me. I called my boss and was like, yo, my car stopped. I need somebody to bring me some gas. And they brought me some gas. And I was able to get to the gas station. But moral of the story, don't drive on low gas. No matter how much you claim you know your car, just don't do it. Don't do it.
Surrendering to the gas station gods to fill up for fuel. And what happens next? You only put $10 of gas. You see, the problem with this is that over time your gas tank starts to collect dirt and grime that sits at the bottom of your tank. By having a low tank of gas, your fuel pump starts to suck in all this junk, which can eventually lead to the pump failing. Also, most fuel pumps are designed to cool off when submerged in fuel. If you're too low on fuel, it will start to suck in air, causing it to overheat, which can lead to increased wear and tear. Having a fuel pump fail can not only leave you stranded on the side of the road, but can also cost you quite a bit. So do yourself a favor and try to maintain a fuel level of a quarter tank or more. The fourth bad driving habit is sudden and frequent braking. I understand that at times you...
Once again, living in Georgia, you have to. Because they can't drive for shit out here. Like, they cannot drive out here. So you kind of have to, like, unless your car gonna be trash, cause the drivers is trash. Your car is gonna get trashed if you don't do the. I call it the jerk neck.
You might have to rely on a sudden press of the brake in order to avoid collision and keep you safe. But what I'm primarily referring to are those that use the brake as if they're playing a game of Dance Dance Revolution. This practice is most commonly used by those that love to tailgate. Till this day, I still don't understand the motive behind tailgaters. Not only do you put yourself and others at major risk, leaving no room for error, but you're wearing out your brakes much faster. By using your brakes more often and suddenly, you're putting more strain on your braking system, causing them to heat up much more quickly, which results in brake pads and rotors wearing out much faster and having them replaced more often. You can easily extend the life of your brakes by simply keeping a safe distance between you and the car ahead of you, scouting the road ahead of you, and smoothly pressing the brakes to slow down. Brake properly and you'll save money. The fifth bad driving habit is switching between reverse and drive without a complete stop. You might find yourself doing this when you're...
Yo, I remember one time I did that in my daddy car. When I tell you that man raged on me, he was like, oh my God, he was pressed. He was like, you can't be doing it. You gonna mess up my transmission. You gonna mess up my You gonna mess up my car. And then I'm gonna have to pay for it. Keith, calm down. It's not that serious. But obviously it is. I don't do that with my car now. Well, ever since he told me about it, I don't do it. But what's funny is my auntie say that he does it in her truck. So stop doing it, Keith. You like Shami?
in a hurry, or when positioning yourself to park in a very tight space. I'm so guilty of doing this myself, but that's not going to stop me from telling you that doing this can be bad. It might not seem like it's doing any damage to your car, but in reality, it really is. Switching from reverse to drive before coming to a complete stop can cause unnecessary strain on your drivetrain. While the damage might seem small, it can eventually add up, costing you a very expensive trip to your local mechanic. Those 1 or 2 seconds you save by doing this just aren't worth it. Just stop completely before switching gears. Your wallet and your drivetrain will thank you later. The sixth and last bad driving habit that can cost you is revving your engine when it's cold. And yes, I know the exhaust sounds incredible after a cold start. There are 2 different scenarios you might rev your engine when it's cold. The first being maybe you live in a cold environment and you rev your engine just after starting up your car in order to warm it up faster. You know, to get the heater to work faster. And second, maybe you're just trying to show off to some friends or even speeding off just moments after starting your car. All these scenarios can be very bad for your engine. Let me explain. Revving your engine when cold can cause dramatic temperature changes that can damage engine components. It causes unwanted wear on parts within the engine that haven't been properly lubricated yet. Engine damage is by far one of the most expensive repairs you can have in a car, so make sure your car reaches optimal temperature before you decide to slam on the gas.
I don't do all that. Who the hell am I trying to press? Nobody. Besides, it don't get like really cold. Honestly, I never knew that was a thing. Like, people rev the engines to get the... I never knew that was a thing. Because I just be sitting... Like, when I used to live in Chicago, I just used to sit in a cold-ass car. Or back in the house till it heated up. I never knew that was a thing until just now. Even then, I'm not even going to do it. Because I probably won't even remember that when it comes time to, like... Well, actually, I'm going back home next month for Thanksgiving. It's lit like big. I'm finna go crazy. I'm finna eat all of it. But... Anyway, I will leave the link to the original video in the description box. I should do the different types of drivers. I should do a video like that. Because it's a lot of badass drive. I'm going to do that. If y'all want to see me do the 10 different types of drivers, let me know. I'll drop it in the comment. Drop it in the comments if you want to see that. And I'll drop it this weekend. But anyway, you already know it's popping. Johnny, I need you to do me 4 simple favors. So you go ahead and get up out that jam. I need you to like the video. Comment down below what you want to see me do next. If you want that 10 different types of drivers, skittish like video, let me know. Drop that in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Last but not least, make sure you hit that share button. Copy and paste the link, throw it in the group chat. So you can tell your mother or your father or your brother or your sister or your homies how bad of a driver they are. Because they do all 6 of these. Okay? But that's enough from me. You already know, like I said, 2 times prior to this, I am Janae. And as always, I am smooth when rocking out this jam, just like so. Said it before and I'll say it again. Keep greasy my scalp, mama. That was bad.